So the Godzilla X Kong New Empire trailer came out a few days ago. I gotta be honest. All right, this is my opinion. I'm not a fan. Um, in my opinion, the trailer did not impress me. Uh, everyone's all excited about it. It's just I don't know. Yeah, I hope this movie doesn't fall into the sequelitis trap, to where they're trying to one up their first movie and make the sequel like bigger, more crazy, more grander, and then they implement these kind of ridiculous aspects just in attempts to make the story bigger and grander than the last. When in reality, like, you don't have to do that. Just make a good movie. Right? Just make a good movie, make a good villain. The stakes doesn't have to one up the last one. Just make a good movie and you'll have a hit on your hands. The way they made the trailer, the music, the overall cutting of the trailer, it just made the film kind of look like another generic Hollywood action movie. I hope I'm proving wrong. The only thing that's giving me hope is the fact that there were test screenings, and apparently the audiences loved it, or they thought it was great. Yeah, that's the only thing that's giving me hope, is those test screenings. But for now, the trailer did not impress me one bit. And okay, so people have been saying, like, oh, it's like it's tapping into the showa roots, like, oh wow. You can't hide behind that excuse every, like, potentially dumb decision they make. Like, oh, it's just a Showa-esque choice. Like, bro, can we have... Let's not stop fighting for Godzilla movies with good directing, good pacing, good storytelling, good human characters. Like, I feel like we need those things for these movies to be great. If we stop doing that and hide behind, like, oh, it's okay because they're tapping into their Showa roots, like, I think that's a dumb excuse. Because what'll happen is we get mediocre movie after mediocre movie, and then the monsterverse dies. And then what are y'all gonna, like, do when if the monsterverse dies, because we get these shitty movies and shitty decisions, and then we hide behind, like, oh, it's in the Showa roots. Like, the Showa era of Godzilla films, I feel like were okay for their time, and they have their place. But the Showa series survived with its cheesiness, but that doesn't mean the MonsterVerse will do the same. It's a different audience, and it's a different story, right? It's a different universe. What works for one universe doesn't necessarily mean it'll work for another universe. Right? You can take some aspects from the other universe, but you can't just use that universe's tone, talking about Showa era, and turning it up to 100, Monsterverse wise, though, because I feel like the Showa era of Godzilla movies back in the day had, I think, more ridiculous aspects to it than this trailer. I feel like we need to evolve from that. We can still, like, I was hoping this movie was gonna, like, I was fine with the cheesy stuff, but I was hoping they would also mix in with, more serious tones. I wish this movie was gonna be a little bit darker, but with cheese added into it, just to keep it entertaining. But I feel like from the looks of the trailer, that they've gone a little bit too far. Godzilla's design. I am not a fan of what they did to legendary Godzilla. I think they went too far with it. In my opinion, they made changes that weren't necessary. If they wanted to make changes, it shouldn't have been so drastically different to what made legendary Godzilla, what made him, I think he should have stayed bulky. I mean, did you see? I don't know if y'all saw the pictures of the Playmates toys where legendary Godzilla's body was, like, warped and, like, skinny, scrawny. Like, I don't know. I'm not a fan of this design, y'all. Like, he looks like a knockoff of legendary Godzilla. Why did you have to make him scrawny, bro? Just to make him faster? Like, in my opinion, like, fuck making him faster. Let him be the ruthless tank that he is. Make him wreck shit up and have the villains come to him. All right? Godzilla should be the like the final boss for the villain, essentially. Like, Godzilla should be like a force. The atomic breath, the atomic breath. If they wanted to change the color of his atomic breath, it shouldn't have been pink. Okay, so I know there are explanations on why it's that color, but bro, all these explanations and all this shit, I don't care. I still think pink looks whack. Like, I feel like either like purple or orange would have been more fitting for Godzilla. If it was orange, like, I kind of wish it was orange so that, you know, it would show Godzilla, you know, taking control, having control over his burning powers, you know? Kind of like how Naruto controlled the nine-tailed fox and he had the chakra mode. And I feel like purple is like the natural kind of evolution to blue, you know? And I feel like purple just looks more intimidating. I might get used to it, might not. But right now, even with a few days, even with, you know, the trailer marinating in my head for a couple of days, I'm still not a fan of the pink or his overall design. And before anyone brings up Godzilla 2000 having pink dorsal plates, he did not, all right? He had a muted light purple tint to the tips of his dorsal plates, but they weren't full-on Barbie pink, all right? His dorsal plates, if you see photos of his suit, they were actually mostly his charcoal gray skin, but they just had that muted light purple tips to it. They're not the same thing, or they're not the same thing. So I don't want to hear that as yet another explanation to his less than stellar design, in my opinion. I will always prefer, you know, the original design. And by that, I mean, I like the 2019 and 2021. I do like the more bulkier appearance. But I don't want to, you know, judge this movie too harshly because I haven't even seen it. You know, I'm just judging this by the trailer. I hope the test screenings are true and that this movie will blow my socks off and that it isn't as bad as I think, judging from this trailer. I don't want to be right about this movie. I don't want my negative feelings to be the actual, like, outcome for this movie. Because I don't want this movie to be bad. I want the Monsterverse to live. I mean, hey, like, part of me kind of likes the fact that people are excited for this. It's a indication for how strong the community is and the overall positive outlook for the Monsterverse, Godzilla, and all that. All right, I'll catch you all later. Peace.